Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 159 is brought to you by Jose, Sunburned Yeti, and Virginia, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, Nina, Sergio, and I are joined by our featured artist this month, Kuriie. We will be revealing the art she has made for the show and then discussing the recent Turkey Day event. After that, we'll go over what is new for players in December in both the northern and southern hemispheres. So to begin, hello Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent because it just snowed tiny little bit in Atlanta, which was exciting.
Oh, that's pretty rare. That's exciting.
It was super rare, especially for this early in the year. So it was like, even to just see the flurry on like my little weather app, it was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That is fun.
Yeah.
And then, hi Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi Chuy, I'm doing well. It's been snowing in a lot of cool places. Not here. I wish it was a little bit colder here, but other than that, I'm doing great.
That's awesome. And then, welcome to the show, Kuriie. First time you're on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you know, it's a very special day, December 1st, which marks not only a lot of new things in Animal Crossing whenever you get to a new month, but here on the show, it marks new artwork, which you have created for us. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for having me work on it. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, and we did something really new with this, where you're the first person who has asked me to do this, and I'm surprised by this in general, just because a lot of artists tend to have a lot of real means to share their process and everything, but you actually streamed some of the creation of this artwork, right?
Yeah, that way you could give feedback as we worked on it, and it's kind of fun to see the process of it as well.
Yeah. So I hope people enjoyed seeing it get made. Did you have fun with those streams?
Oh yeah, I had a blast. I always have a blast doing art streams in general, but this one was like such a special piece, and it was a very long process to make it that it made it so much more fun to do it with a group almost.
Yeah, it's nice to have some company around, and I'm sure a lot of people really appreciate being able to see something cool get made, you know?
Hopefully it's cool.
Yes, it totally is.
Yeah, it's so good. You really filled it with a lot of different characters, I guess. So I know I mentioned some that I liked that had birthdays in December and everything, but did you want to kind of go over kind of the characters you chose and why?
Yeah, so I actually, all of the characters besides the two that you mentioned that you would like in there are all in December. And so I figured I would get a nice variety like of animals. So there's like Tom, who's a cat, and a bear, and they're all different colors. I just wanted like a lot going on because Christmas, while it being snowy, is very white. Mm-hmm. The Christmas lights and all the decorations tend to be very colorful. So I tried to pick characters that were also just very vibrant and different from each other. So
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one thing that I feel a lot of people complained in the past with Animal Crossing, where winter just got to be too much white,
yeah,
too bland after a while. Yeah, so I guess Nina, Sergio, did you have any questions for Kuriie while she's here?
Well, I was lucky enough to tune into one of your streams. I wish I had been able to see more, but it was just so exciting to watch you as a digital artist get this going because I'm a traditional artist, so it was all like brand new and mind-blowing to me, especially when you were doing like the little leaf pattern on the holly bush. I was like, it's just repeating itself over and over. It's amazing. So I just thought that was super cool, and I love the little house on, is that Rudy's house?
Yes,
it's
it is
actually
Rudy.
Kiki's house.
Kiki's house.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's super cozy looking. I love the colors in that as well.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a different type of process using digital. I actually did a type of artwork style called vector art, where everything is actually made of different shapes and there's no proper drawing in it, if that makes sense. So that allows you to have like the ability to make patterns for leaves, for the holly bushes, and it just makes the process so quick and fun. But
yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah, and I was really glad, I reached out to you, and after doing these commissions for several years now, I think a couple years, I've learned quite a lot that I did not know regarding art. So I was just like, here's this big long thing that I typically send out to people
Oh,
about.
that was the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad you appreciated that because I'm like, I mean, Nina this all may be new to her world and everything, but I'm just like, I'm not even in the world. I'm just like trying to enjoy it from outside. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's a great piece. I think it's really fun. It gets me really excited about all of the different stuff that we're going to be able to do in December. We're going to, of course, go over a lot of that later on in the show today. But yeah, I think you really capture a lot of the festivities and the things that, just people can look forward to, especially building that snowman or snowboy,
Yes.
maybe. I don't know. Cool. So I guess if you all want to check out Kuriie and her art and of course her Twitch streams and YouTube channel, which are very amazing, I've got all of the links in the description and the show notes. So check them out there. We've got her website, her Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Etsy, even the Patreon I threw in there.
Well, you didn't have to put all of them.
No, it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
worth it. I always like when we have another creator on who can, just share all of their work with everybody, especially somebody who's doing some really awesome things all the time. I always like hopping into your stream and seeing what you're up to.
Well, that's super sweet, and I super appreciate it.
Yeah. So anyways, let's go ahead and start getting into Turkey Day. So for those of you who played maybe this past weekend, it was Thanksgiving here in the States. So typically Turkey Day falls on the same day, but the entire event took place and we got to enjoy it. We got to play through it. Some of you may have missed it. You can time travel back if you want to go see it. There was, of course, this whole thing where you couldn't time travel forward to go and see it, but now that we're past it, that's not an issue for those time travelers out there. But I'm going to give a quick recap of the event, and then we'll just get to discussing it. So, first off, the event did take place on the 26th of November. That was a Thursday, and it took place from 9 a.m. through midnight, so a huge range of time that you could enjoy this event, which, it's very different from, say, Halloween the past month, which started, was it at 5 or 6? I don't even remember at this point. Maybe it was even 7, even later. But yeah, you only got a little bit of time to do those. This one was a much longer range, but I think it was worth it because this was definitely a more demanding event. So basically, you would talk to Franklin at the plaza, and I do want to note that your plaza has to be upgraded from that green tent to the full residential services building in order to be in this event. So if it's not there yet, Franklin's not going to be there, unfortunately. So any newcomers to the game who just got the game recently, you might have to play a little bit before you're actually there. But luckily, it doesn't take too long to get to that point. So anyways, from there, you talk to Franklin, and he's working on 4 different dishes to create. You help him collect the ingredients, and they all get made, essentially. Once you're done with the 4 main dishes, you find out that there are some extra ingredients that can take these dishes to the next level. So those will send you off to make all 4 dishes even better. From there, you do get rewards for each one you complete. The first 4 are uncraftable items, so you can only get these once, or you can get them multiple times like I did if you have extra characters on your island. But these items are the Turkey Day rug, the Turkey Day carpet, the Turkey Day wall, and the cornucopia. So all of these items, once again, uncraftable, only obtainable for completing these 4 main dishes. Once you complete those and do the extra ingredients, you get a random assortment of 3 craftable items, and then once you've gotten those and finished the last dish, you get all 8 Turkey Day DIYs. So there are some recipes at the end of this. It's pretty great that you get them all at the end, and For those of you who did not finish beyond the main dishes, you are able to purchase the recipes from Nook's Cranny the day after, and I'm assuming kind of through the month for some certain amount of time. I'm not quite sure how long that is, but the recipes are currently available in Nook's Cranny, so be sure to check those out if you missed them. And I think they will show up even if you do not complete the main dishes. I will have to get that confirmed elsewhere, but I'm assuming they would be there. So I guess let's get this conversation going by asking you all a question. So I want to start it off pretty broad here. What did you think of the Turkey Day event? And Sergio, how about you kick us off here?
Yeah, definitely. I liked it a lot. I know we started that day, you kind of gave us a hint that it looked like it was very involved, so it might take a while. And yeah, it definitely was. I'm kind of glad we had the discussion because, I said, okay, well, I'll start as soon as I can. I was there at basically 9 a.m. But I liked it a lot. I liked the challenge. I feel like I got lucky a little bit, especially with one of the ingredients, the crab that you needed. But yeah, other than that, I liked, the fact that you had to go all over your island looking for things. It was very involved, very challenging, but never not fun.
Was there a moment where you thought, oh no, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this?
Honestly, no. At first, I had a different type of crab. And then, luckily, after a few more diving creatures, I got the one that I needed. It was brand new to me, so unfortunately, I couldn't give it to Blathers. I said, I'll just use it for the event. I'll hopefully catch another one later.
Sergio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this totally reminds me. I forgot that your diving is very different from anybody's that I've heard because you're only doing about 3 catches a day, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm sure your diving creatures list still has a lot to fill in by.
Yeah.
And you're probably still looking for a bunch of Pascal's mermaid recipes too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How often do you get a scallop on your first 3 creatures?
It's a good chance. Maybe like 33% every third day or so.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, Kuriie, what did you think of the Turkey Day event?
Oh, I had a blast. Turkey Day event has always been like one of my favorites in the Animal Crossing series. So the fact that you could make the dishes kind of like you could before in New Leaf, but they gave you recipe pieces if you didn't have them. I didn't actually utilize that at all because I was able to get all of the things. I had a bunch of pumpkins and everything stored up, but it was really nice. And I actually did get something new for my museum because of this event, and I didn't give it to Franklin. I gave it to Blathers and just found a second one. I was like, there's no way I'm going swimming for this long again just to give it up. I'm just going to stay in the ocean until I find it.
That's great. Which creature was it? Was it one of that crab? That
it was a
everybody
crab, and I
talking
also found a Venus something or one of those weird like.
They're
I don't remember
fast.
exactly
Yeah.
what it was. Oh, I didn't realize you have to swim over them really slow in order to get them. So I was like chasing them from down, and they were so I literally probably went halfway around my island trying to get it, and even had my fiance try to get it for me. He's like, I can't do it. And I was like, he's like, maybe if you just swim really slowly, and it ended up working. So
Good tip.
so that event helped me with my museum problems, which was nice. But the event itself was actually really, really fun. I always love the villagers carrying their plates around and like them singing. I was just staring at them and they're so cute. And the harvest furniture has always been one of my favorite sets. And I originally was kind of sad they changed the design of them, but it's super grown on me and it's super beautiful. So I'm pretty happy with it in general.
Yeah, that's definitely like one thing that's really different about this game. Like we're not seeing I mean, I know a lot of people are very upset about a lot of those like pretty beloved sets not making a return and everything, but I don't know. I feel like the replacements that we've gotten, a lot of the items look really good in this game, so I haven't been too torn up about it, especially considering like I don't know. I still kind of expect them to come make a return in later updates at some point. Kind of like, the Mermaid series made a bit of a return through an
Right,
update.
right.
I've been
But yeah,
oh, sorry.
oh no, go for it.
I've just been so surprised with how they've kind of grown up the furniture series or just made it more realistic, because the Harvest Festival series in the past and kind of the Spooky series in the past have been so cartoony and colorful, and both of them are kind of like subdued wood, like kind of cottagey, almost. They're beautiful, like almost realistic looking furniture pieces, which is interesting.
Yeah, it feels like stuff that can be pretty easily integrated into what you've currently got designed in your house, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the hard part with a lot of the series in the past, where it's like you kind of had to really dedicate yourself to collecting that entire series and having the complete set in any room just to make it feel like cohesive and everything. But I feel like, just the style of the items in this game feel like, oh, this would really work in what I've already got. So, you make a few changes here and there. Occasionally you'll want to redecorate a lot more if you like a lot of that set that you've unlocked. But yeah, this series specifically, that rug that we got from it is
So
the most
pretty.
beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I want that rug in real life now. It's so good.
We'll have to work on that for you.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? If somebody can make that rug, let me know. So Nina, I guess, what did you think of the Turkey Day event?
Oh, I loved it too. I this is another one of my all-time favorite events, and it's a holiday tradition of mine to play the event while I watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. So that was super nice. It and I like how long it takes. It took me, a little bit of time to complete, which is nice. Because it's, just mindless TV in the background and Animal Crossing with like adorable music playing. It's the best, one of the best events in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, the music, that's one thing that hasn't really been updated so much. Like it's kind of the same tune, a little
Yeah.
it's more like instrumentally it's updated. There was a little part in it that I felt like, oh, this sounds like it's at least a little more New Horizons than the previous version,
Yeah, they
But
like added the motif of it. Yeah.
yeah, that little jingle came through, which has, it comes through in every single song in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I found it really cute, and it's always nice to have a change of soundtrack in these games, because you get so used to, the time of day you play. You're hearing that same track whenever you log in and everything, because it does become very routine in a lot of ways. But overall, I don't know, I really appreciate it. I enjoyed it, and it's nice to have at least something recognizable from Turkey Day. Not to say that like everything was completely new. Like we were doing that same task of like collecting these ingredients to go towards this big dish to share with everybody. So that was still there. And of course, Franklin,
Yeah.
everybody's favorite turkey. Awesome. So I guess my next question for all of you, because it was a longer event, how long did it take you to complete? I guess, Nina, do you want to share?
Maybe 2 hours, but I'm not sure how hardcore I was playing during that time. Like I definitely got distracted, doing regular routines and chores. But I feel like I played for a solid 2 hours that day before going out to family stuff.
Yeah, that's a good amount of time. We were up very early. I just remembered.
Yes, we were.
recording a little segment. It was 6 a.m. for both Sergio and I, doing a little bit of an extra recording. But pretty much like right after that, I also logged in right away and started playing. And honestly, I was probably there for 3 or 4 hours doing not only the event as myself, but also doing it a few extra times
Oh,
with
man.
all my extra characters because I wanted as many of those rugs as possible.
Wow.
So I do have a total of 5 of the rugs and carpets and walls and cornucopias.
Oh my gosh.
I might have gone a little bit overboard, but I mean, I didn't really have anything going on. It was vacation time.
Yeah.
It was Animal Crossing time for me.
Yeah, it's Turkey Day.
Yeah, I guess, Kuriie, how long did it take you?
I think it took me about 2 hours, and the thing that took the longest was diving. But I actually had the barred knife jaw in my storage for some reason, so I was like, "Oh, perfect! I'll just use that." But yeah, I think it was about 2 hours. It was perfect because it was after dinner. People were taking a nap, and I'm like, "Okay, I have time to just play my game and not worry about being a host for a minute." Since-
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other hard part too. Like if you don't have the time to complete it because you're hosting, you're with family, there's just some other priorities that are, just a little bit more important than Animal Crossing. Not that too many things are. But yeah, like it can be time consuming enough to be like, oh, I might not actually have time to finish this. What are we
Yeah.
gonna do? Well, I'm glad you had time to complete it and that you had a barred knife jaw already on you.
I know, so helpful. Who would have
Some
thunk?
of us did not.
I don't even know. I have no idea how long he was in storage for, and I have no idea how he even got there. Like, it was probably from spring.
Yeah, I mean, I luck out on those things every once in a while because I try to keep 3 of everything in my storage. So whenever Flick or CJ are around, I have stuff ready for them to make models. But outside of that, I don't think I had a barred knife jaw this time around. But I did get lucky because one of the things I hadn't mentioned earlier, but if you did walk into your villagers' homes, you would find them cooking essentially, and they would trade ingredients with you. So if you got lucky, you didn't have to go diving for that crab. You didn't have to go
Right.
fishing for that barred knife jaw, which was the case, luckily, for my run through of this. I was gifted those ingredients.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. So Sergio, I guess how long did it take you to go through this?
Yeah, it took me just under 2 hours as well. So it sounds like that was about the sweet spot for a lot of us. But it did include a little bit of cleanup because I hadn't been picking up extra flowers or the sticks around my town. So
Yeah.
since I was pretty much walking around all over the place, I said, oh, let's just clean the place up. But yeah, about 2 hours. And like I said, I feel like I got lucky with the crab. It probably would have taken a little bit more. But yeah, I found it fairly quickly. The items that I got from the villagers in their homes, it was just, I think somebody gave me a white pumpkin, which I definitely did not need. So they didn't help too much. But yeah, 2 hours, that was fine.
Yeah, every once in a while the villagers do not come through. They definitely just give you something that's like, okay, thanks, did not need this at all. And you took something that I know Jackie specifically was like, I think I gave him something I didn't donate, and he gave me a clam. This is the worst.
Oh, no.
So she was really upset for a little bit, but then she checked her Critterpedia and found that she had already donated what it
Oh,
was.
good.
So yeah, I'm sure that happened to some people out there where it was like,
Oh.
nope, you can't donate this because you need it for the event.
Yeah.
Or you can, just power through it like Kuriie and just donate it anyways and look for it twice, right?
I just didn't want to not remember, because I never remember whether I
Yeah.
catch it. The only
Yeah.
time I know if I catch something new, if it goes yes right before,
Yes.
like as
Yeah.
you catch it. So I'm like, well, if it doesn't say that, I'm not going to donate it. So I just know myself.
Yeah, it's true. It's good to be aware of what your play style is.
No one wants
funny-
to face the wrath of Brett Blathers either.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I love reading whatever he has to say about something new.
Me too.
Yeah, fun fact, I just finished my fish Critterpedia because
No
I
way.
visited somebody in Europe who it happened to turn midnight around that time. It was Emily with a cookie. I visited her
Aw.
and we both completed our fishing Critterpedias together today.
oh, that's so
Cool.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so shout out to Emily. Awesome. Well, my next question for all of you is, how would you rate the event against previous New Horizons events? So now that we've gone through pretty much most of the year of events, like, where does this one stand for you? I guess, Kuriie, do you want to start off here?
Sure. This was actually my favorite event of all of them so far. I feel like every event previous to this had some type of flaw one way or another, whether it was the bunny day eggs or, Halloween being a shorter amount of time. I feel like this one was a good amount of time. There was a lot of stuff you can get and a lot of things to do. Like, I never felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. It was like I was searching for something different every time, whether it was something I grew or catch a fish or dig up clams or go swimming. It was just like there was a lot of variety to the event itself. And the items are probably my new favorite furniture items. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what we all ran into with Halloween was like four of the items were locked behind the Halloween day itself. And so, like those felt a lot more specific for their usage in the game. So, it's the end of the month essentially. Halloween's done after this. You're not going to be able to enjoy that item until next year. Whereas these, like I said, like just kind of the more generic kind of style to it that's easier to fit into your home. Like these items feel like, oh yeah, Turkey Day's over, but I can use this for the rest of the month, Like if I feel like it's still going to fit whatever holiday theme I'm doing for the Toy Day stuff. Yeah. And the other point you made too about like the variety of events is like, I heard from so many people that they caught something new for their Critterpedia while diving. And really, it just goes to show you, like, a lot of people are not diving, for one. But these events are also, like, a really good gateway into those activities that they're probably doing less, right? Yeah. So I guess, Sergio, how would you rate it against the other New Horizons events?
So I would say it's definitely my favorite single day event, like the main event, if that makes sense. Because I still remember I really liked the lead up to Bunny Day and how basically whatever you were doing, you were reminded of the eggs. Some people found some of them annoying. Yeah, I definitely I can see why, but I like the fact that it was like a week-long event or longer. But as far as the day itself, definitely my favorite because of the challenge and yeah, because of the items. They were very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you really bring up a good point with like the challenge and everything, just because like Halloween was easy. Like it did not take a lot of
Yeah.
effort to get everything from Halloween. It was just like you logged in, maybe spent 30 minutes to get everything, and then you were good to go, right? But this one was just like I heard unfortunately a story of somebody diving for a couple, maybe 3 hours to find that crab.
Oh.
And I'm just like, okay, well, that was a little bit of overkill. You probably should have started talking to your villagers and seeing if they would hook it up for you. But I don't know. For outside of that one, I think a lot of people really appreciated like the time and effort that went into this event. So I guess Nina, how would you rate it?
Super high. It's just one of my all-time favorites. I do like the challenge, like you said. I do like it that it takes longer. I love Franklin and that he's trying to get you to eat anything but turkey. I think that's hilarious. Like, and it's just like Kuriie said, it's just so charming to see all the villagers walking around. It hits all the boxes for me.
Yeah, yeah. And, those villagers, like you said, carrying around their little plates and
Yes.
They all
doing
have
the new
matching hats.
emotes whenever a dish was revealed and everything.
Right.
It honestly like tied in a lot of the new elements from this update very well. So
Yeah.
yeah, that shouldn't be overlooked. Like a lot of the new stuff that we got, it's adding all this character to our existing villagers, which it's wonderful.
It gets a Franklin chef's kiss. A Chef Franklin's
Yeah.
kiss.
That's perfect. Yeah, for me, I loved it. I did it 5 times, so I must have loved it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Actually, 5 times I did. With the other four though, I did only do like the main dishes, which were a little
Right.
bit quicker than doing the extra ingredients.
Hmm.
So there was that. It didn't have to be as painful as other people's experiences, just doing the one event and looking for that crab. But overall, like these items, I think the really valuable thing about it is they're just so usable. I know I had an argument with some people about the Turkey Day flooring where they're like, I think a lot of people were kind of underwhelmed by it. I was more underwhelmed by the wall specifically, but the Turkey Day
Yeah.
flooring, I was like, no, this is my floor. Like,
Oh,
this is the
it's
floor that
beautiful.
I use, like it's the herringbone style floor, and I love that it's got like more of that modern wood look from New Leaf where it's all the different colors of wood put together for it. So I'm using it right now. I got 5 of them and I'm just like, all right, every single room in my house will now have this floor because I've always wanted to do one of those home designs where the floor stays consistent and the walls stay consistent in
Ooh.
every room, but
Oh,
you kind of
nice.
fill it up with different decor, kind of like a real house is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the floor that's going to make that happen for sure.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So my next question for you all, and this might be a pretty quick answer: do you like the items? Me, that's definitely yes. Sergio,
Yeah, definitely yes.
Nina.
50% of them, yes.
Oh, so which ones aren't you too big a fan of?
I mean, I love the furniture items. They're absolutely beautiful. We've already talked about that. But some of the like place settings and like the thing with the balloons and the pictures, I don't know, it was kind of a little too
What?
cutesy for me. I didn't like it. I'm sorry, Sergio. But I
That's all
loved
right.
the like pedestals. I used those outside of my museum already, and the little casserole dish is adorable. But I don't know, some of the table stuff was not my favorite.
I get you. I get you. Curry, how about you? Anything controversial here?
Not controversial. I feel the only thing that I wish we could have is more customizations for it. Like different colors, maybe bring the pink and purple back. Not that I ever use those colors ever, but like just like there were so many pumpkin color variations for Halloween items that it would be nice to have the same amount for the Turkey Day items.
And that's a really good point with bringing the pink and purple back. Like that is the kind of callback that I think would have been really appreciated by a lot of fans, ones
Right.
who are definitely like really calling out for more of that old furniture to come back from the other series. So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. So my last question here is, what would you change about the event? Sergio, do you want to start here?
Yeah, I was thinking I want to make it a little bit more challenging, but again, it's only maybe because I got lucky with the crab. Uh, but I mean, it might be nice. Definitely one thing I would do, let us keep one of the dishes at the end.
Yes.
Either a random one or we get to choose so that, we look forward to doing this 4 years in a row to complete the collection.
Yeah, I just realized right now I expected to come out of this event with more food items to use at like
Yes.
my
Yeah.
house and everything. That would be my change for sure. Like, give us those dishes that we actually made because they look
Yeah.
so good. Every single dish that I made, I was just like, oh man, I'm so glad it's Thanksgiving and I'm gonna be eating this later. But it's really nice to see it in game. So Curry, is there anything you would change about this event?
Honestly, the exact same. Like I wanted those dishes as soon as I saw them. I'm like, I really hope they'll give it to us by the end, and they didn't.
Yeah.
But also the little condiments, like the salt and pepper, and like all the stuff that he
Yes.
already had on his table. Like, just give me your table stuff. Like, give me the items on your table along with your table, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being
Yeah.
selfish, but they were just so cute, and we need more items that are just for your kitchen or for tables. Like, we have all the
Yeah.
tables we need. We just need stuff to put on them because I have so many
That's
empty
true.
parts of restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just reminded me too, like another thing a lot of fans were calling out for were like the little kind of ingredients that we got from New Leaf, where it was
Yes.
like the little bottle of oil and
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff. I think a lot of people were missing that and hoping that they would have these things in order to, you know, just decorate their homes, their kitchens, because consistently our kitchens have been the most difficult spaces to make just because there's just not a lot of representation there in terms of the items. So yeah, very very good points here. Nina, anything you would change? Probably the balloon furniture, right?
Well, that, but I, like you said, I miss those New Leaf ingredients. I was kind of sad when my first villager gave me like an oyster or something like that, and I was like, "You're not gonna give me flour? Like, where's the oil, the vinegar?" Because I would save the extras of those and put them
Yes.
around my rooms. They were
Yes.
so cute. So I am missing. It's the same answer technically as Kuriie and Sergio's, because we just want more stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know, this is a game where we're getting updates regularly, and we kind of mentioned this with Halloween as well. But I am hoping when we get to this event again in year 2 that they're just like, we don't want you to do the same thing again. We want to change it up slightly and give you extra things that you can enjoy that weren't in it last year. And you know, to some extent, that does damage the experience a bit for new players who have stuck around. But you know, just seeing them already offer these DIY recipes in the store, like I would be completely satisfied if they were like, "All right, here's the recipe from last year. We're gonna give you some new stuff this year." Yeah.
So maybe we'll get to eat turkey next year?
Oh no!
There is a turkey item in previous Animal Crossing games that looks very delicious, so some animals out there have eaten their Franklin.
Oh my god!
Maybe it's like a mini version of the turkey, kind of like there's mini owls on the board at night and mini birds.
Oh,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
frogs.
Yeah.
That's true. What makes
so
these
creepy.
animals? What makes our villagers sentient and these other animals not?
Radioactive goo.
I was just about to say that. It's
Yep.
like post-apocalyptic.
It's Fallout Crossing.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, Turkey Day, I think it was overall a fun event. I think it gave us a lot of really cool new items to enjoy, and I'm ready to see what's next. So let's get into it. Nina, you have kindly gone over December and, you know, prepared a lot of stuff of what's upcoming. So do you want to take control here and tell us what to expect this month?
Yeah, and there's a lot, and I'm going to try and be as non-spoilery as possible. But I will say, if you're someone who is really trying to have these new events be completely spoiler-free, it might be time to skip ahead. So I don't know, but I'll try my best to just kind of give heads up instead of details.
Awesome.
But there's a lot. So new in December, first of all, we're getting more Nook Stop seasonal items. So keep your eye out. It looks like there's 2 new items for the northern hemisphere and 2 new items for the southern hemisphere. So make sure you click all the way over to the seasonal section to order those in your Nook Stop. Those
Yeah,
are
can
always so cute.
Yeah, they are. And I wanted to make a note recently, too. There was the summer solstice and like winter solstice sweater that we got a while ago. And that's one where I kind of missed out and I only grabbed one of each. And because usually I try to get extras of these things just in case, you know, somebody told me they didn't get it. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'll send you my extra, right? But now that we're getting into this winter season, a lot of my villagers look really good in that sweater.
Ooh.
So I want to buy like several of them and give them that sweater as well.
Is this the same stuff that's coming though? It looks like it's new, or is it not? It's not new stuff. It's the same stuff, right?
I
think
guess
there's
I'm not
one
sure.
new each.
Okay, a couple.
There's
Yeah.
two of the one of the same for each season, but there's 2 additional items, or
Okay.
1 additional for each season as well.
Okay. Well, just don't forget to check it out. Make sure you have everything you need.
Yeah, and typically we do get that letter in the mail from Nook that
Yes.
says, "Hey, there's new stuff here. Check it out."
And tons of new events coming up. So many of you have probably already experienced your first snowfall. So that's happening now instead of rain, which is really exciting. I love the cold weather gear that the villagers have been wearing instead of the rain gear. The rain gear, was kind of either hit or miss for me. Sometimes the villagers looked really cute and sometimes they did not look cute. But they all look adorable in their cold weather gear. It is the cutest new stuff. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I also
It's-
have you guys noticed that like the villagers with tall ears, the ears are all smushed under the hats now.
Yeah,
It's so
I was just
cute.
about to say the cats are so cute with the little
Yes.
hats on, because I almost didn't even recognize Raymond because he was turned around. I'm like, wait, who is that? And then he turned around, I'm like, oh, it's Raymond. He had a little hat
So
on.
cute.
Yeah,
so
they're
good.
adorable. And it's funny because like just literally this past weekend I was like, all right, well I've got some, I've got some downtime. Let me go over to Harv's, which, Nina, you've kind of enlightened me in the past where you would go to Harv's and check what items would look like on your villagers and everything, and I was like, all right, I'm going to finally do that. Winter's coming. They need to be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I just gifted them all of these new coats and stuff to wear. And then all of a sudden I see that they just already put those on,
so
put
cute.
coats on. Yeah, they look adorable. That's honestly what I wanted. I wanted my villagers to look really cozy and winter, and that's what we're getting just automatically. So it's nice.
It is. I've also noticed that like Tank today was carrying around a big like mug of soup, and that
Yeah.
not Blanca, who Whitney was warming herself against a fire, so that was really really cute too.
Yeah, I saw one of my villagers was sitting and enjoying a nice hot bowl of soup, and I thought that was really cute.
Cozy. It's so cozy. So those are the northern hemisphere stuff, and the southern hemisphere stuff. They're going to be switching to all like the spring. I think it's what do they start doing sandwiches and popsicles in the spring? I can't remember anymore.
I think sandwiches. I think the popsicles come out in summer.
Yeah. It's just I love when you can start to notice those little seasonal changes happening. It's such a cute little detail from New Horizons.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's always fun to also see like the little changes in the weeds that grow.
Oh, I was
Yes.
just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I really like the fall weeds. I think they're really pretty. I'm gonna be sad that they're gonna change.
That's true. I think they're my favorite so far.
Yeah. Yeah, so probably tomorrow, right? I guess today for everybody
Probably.
playing.
Yeah, unless it waits until the snowstorm. But I would assume that they would go ahead and start changing. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah. And then Able Sisters is also carrying new seasonal clothing stuff. So if you've been having trouble finding cute sweaters or jackets or coats, they should be coming. It took a while for me to get summer stuff immediately, but they'll eventually come, which is exciting. And then mid-December, I won't give the dates away, but a snowstorm might happen, and all of a sudden that snow brings in, heavy ground cover, which is so exciting. So when that happens, keep an eye out for snowballs. You get to make your snowmen. You get to catch a certain bug that shows up. That's so exciting.
And for some of us, that might be the last bug we need for our
Yes.
Critterpedia.
Yeah, I think it is the last one for me at least. So if you've been on top of your bugs, keep an eye out for this little guy. He's one of my favorites. He cracks me up.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And then Southern Hemisphere is actually going to get a bug off this month, which is very exciting. I kind of miss those bug offs. They were really fun.
Is this going to be their first bug off?
It might be.
Yeah,
First of
that's the
four.
one. Yeah, that's the one thing with the bug offs in this game. Like they're all focused around the summer months, so you get 4 of them during the summer. Then the rest of the year is kind of empty.
Yeah.
So
So enjoy
yeah,
them
this
while
will
you
be their.
can.
Yeah, I'm already kind of like wanting them again for some
Yeah.
reason. The items from the bug off, I think I liked a lot more than the items from the fishing tourney.
What? No way.
no.
I disagree.
I mean, it's because specifically the spider webs. I wanted
Those
a
are
lot
really
of
cool.
spider webs around my house, and there are a couple other ones that I was a big fan of. So I don't know.
Like
I
the
like them.
cockroaches.
And the centipedes. Just leaving those all over. It's great.
Oh man. Okay, well, we also have the winter solstice, which I don't know. I just stuck this in because I remembered from New Leaf we had the really cool winter solstice and summer solstice days where it was all sunny or all dark. And I'm guessing we're not going to have the winter solstice
Right.
because we didn't have the summer solstice. So that's kind of a bummer, but December 21st, we'll see if anything happens.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's, at least a little interesting. I'm sure maybe we'll see. Yeah, I guess, they have the seasonal items and everything, but maybe that was just already part of
Yeah.
what's going to be in the update tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, then we got 2 big honkin' events back to back. We've got Toy Day, Jingle the Black-Nosed Reindeer, everyone's favorite reindeer. So look out for seasonal items to be sold at Nooks. Keep a notepad or your phone handy for hints from villagers. They have, gift giving in the air. so you're going to want to keep note. And then the countdown is coming. I think we talked about this in the last podcast where maybe we'll figure out like a Haken countdown festivity, but it's one of my favorite holidays too for New Horizons or for Animal Crossing in general. So that's going to be super fun. It seems like there's going to be possibly Plaza Festival items like there were in the past. So keep an eye out for those too. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we did mention that, and this is the one time where I'm like, I think this is gonna be the game where I celebrate the new year for once.
We're gonna be celebrating all day long. We need to get we've got a Discord member in New Zealand. We've got Discord members in the UK. We've got East Coast. We've got West Coast. We're just gonna have countdown all day long.
We'll have to try to hit every single time zone though.
That would be amazing. We'll have to do like a sign up in the Discord.
Yeah, that'll be great.
So then, big news still in December. We've got new seasonal DIYs, materials, and recipes coming. If you haven't gotten a bunch of pine cones and acorns, grab those ASAP because they will be leaving soon. Not quite on December 1st, I don't think, but soonish. So I know they're hard to get, so keep on shaking those trees. They're not easy. And they'll soon be replaced by 2 new crafting materials that are coming up, which will bring festive furniture, frozen furniture, and lots of new fun things. I think we'll also get a couple recipes straight from Isabel. That seems to be the trend, doesn't it? She gave us the mush wreath and the seashell wreath, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like we'll get some more from Isabel, too.
Yeah, she tends to give us a new recipe from whatever series is out there. So, yeah, I have seen on occasion some people don't receive the recipe, and so they are findable through the balloons. But if this past season was any indicator of the drop rates, like
Yeah.
I think a lot of people had a lot of trouble with the autumn recipes specifically. Maple leaf recipes, mushrooms, acorns, all of them were just like, I haven't seen a recipe in ages. I think we got a little bit spoiled over October when all of the spooky stuff was craftable by our
Yeah.
villagers. Honestly, I hope they bring that to the rest of these recipes. Like, it's kind of, like, it makes sense that your villagers would be crafting whatever's in season. So why not apply that instead of having us have to find ways to farm as many balloons as possible? Which I had to do myself. So I've
no.
been there.
Yeah. Well, so I
Yeah.
think that we might have to do some farming for one of these furniture sets, but for the other furniture set, there is like a set way to get them using the snowballs. So keep an eye out on your snowballs. There's things you can do. I'm trying really hard not to give anything away. I'm sorry if I'm saying too much for you guys.
No, you're doing great. You're doing
Okay.
great.
Not a lot of bugs and fish new in the northern hemisphere. So like you said, I think some people are going to be finishing up fish and bugs in this month. One more diving creature, maybe. But it's cold. They're hiding. Northern hemisphere though, southern hemisphere though is getting some really heavy hitters. They're getting like the sharks and the fireflies and things out. So they're going to be busy this season.
Yeah, that is, summer is honestly the time to be catching bugs and fishing and diving. So I'm sure they're all going to be really busy with that. So yeah, just good luck to you all. I'm sure there's going to be a lot for you to do.
Absolutely. Honestly, it sounds like there's going to be a lot for us even without the bugs and the fish. So, all around, it's going to be a really packed December.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I do want to make a note here. I know so many people have been kind of, complaining a bit about some of these updates not feeling as big as they can be. But honestly, I'd say it's really because this month is just so busy. This
Yeah.
month has so much more to offer than a lot of the previous ones. So I think we'll find plenty to do, and later we'll get those big updates that we're all really looking for.
Well, and on that note, we actually need to let this update or these December items kind of last us through January because I don't think we're getting more news until end of January, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So don't feel rushed. I know that a lot of it is like based around Toy Day, but a lot of it is just winter stuff too. So maybe leave the winter stuff on the back burner for January so that you don't get bored.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. Like, we do have not just this month, but all of January to go through, and who knows how much we're gonna get in February. But honestly, I'm expecting some big things over February and March, just with the game reaching that 1 year anniversary point.
Right.
So, yeah, it's gonna be an exciting time from here on out, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, this is like, and I know we've talked about this before and we're all on the same page with this, but like fall into winter is just the best. It's just the best Animal Crossing. It's my favorite. So, and savor it while you can.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess, is that everything that we're getting for December?
I think it's everything. I've checked out 3 different websites and a couple YouTube videos, so I'm hoping I caught it all. But leave some comments down below if I missed anything.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it seems like it's going to be the biggest month ever in the game so far. Really closing out the year on a very strong note. So I'm excited to play.
Yes.
Cool. So we do have one more piece of news to kind of go over. This just happened late last night, early this morning, but the Nook Link app has been updated. That is the app that is associated to the Nintendo Switch Online app on your mobile device. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do so because they have added a catalog to the Nook Link. So you can now search through your catalog, your in-game catalog, and see all the different items that you have collected. It is specifically the items that you yourself have collected and have cataloged in your game. It does not show you any items outside of that, which is a bit unfortunate for those collectors out there who really want like a checklist to live by. I know it tends to be important for a lot of Animal Crossing players, but regardless, you can search through your existing catalog. You can search by name, so just type in the item. You can search by criteria, and they have a bunch of different filters if you do that. This, for example, you can search for furniture pieces specifically, or clothing, art, whatever color an item is, whether an item is orderable or customizable. So yeah, there's lots of stuff there. You can even search cost and size. So the size one is one I'm gonna do specifically just to find what 3x3 items there are in the game, because I feel like there should be more. Anyways, you can favorite items on the app as well, and you will have a list where you can see your specifically favorited items. It shows you your new items, which are just the 20 most recent items that you've collected in game. When you log into the app, it will actually have like a little background image that has several items on the background. There's a button to click what items are displayed in the background image. So if you are interested in anything that you see just in that background image, you can actually see that. I think that was an unexpected, nice surprise to have on there. And then this, at the bottom, the very bottom, it will show you when your catalog was last updated with the specific like timestamp and everything. The one little bummer with this app is that you cannot order items in your game from the app. You still have to do that through your in-game Nook Shopping app. So that's the one bummer, because I know it is possible in the Splatoon 2 app on that same Nintendo Switch Online application, but unfortunately it's not possible on this one. So outside of that, that's kind of all you need to know for the Nook Link app. If you haven't gotten it, it's one of the more handy apps, I would say, especially if you're playing online and you need a better way to text than what is available. Of course, you can be like Sergio and be awesome and have a keyboard connected to your Switch. That's always the fastest way. But for anybody else who's not as awesome as Sergio, you've got your phone. So one last little thing I want to mention before we get into Haken's Islander Corner. Animal Crossing New Horizons has been nominated at the Game Awards for the Game of the Year. It is alongside, of course, all the biggest games of the year. And so it's very nice to see our little Animal Crossing getting this huge recognition in, the world, essentially. Like, this game has sold so much more than any other Animal Crossing game has ever sold, and it's even destroying a lot of big games that people tend to call Nintendo's big sellers. So it's been a huge game for the year. We will have a huge discussion on, I'm sure, why it deserves to be the game of the year. Not that we're biased or anything, but it has already won Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards as well. So we'll touch back on that at a later date, probably next episode, unless something really huge happens, like maybe this winter stuff is really huge, so we all have to talk about that. But we do want to get that conversation in before the Game Awards, which are on, I don't know, Sergio, do you know?
No.
All right, I'm Googling it really quickly. All right, December 10th. So yeah, I guess we will have to talk about it next week, just before the Game Awards hits. So
Nice.
Thursday, December 10th. Hopefully we can tune in and see Animal Crossing. Take it.
Yes.
That'd be so exciting.
Yeah, and honestly, and just real quickly, I think it's got a good shot. I don't think there was a game this year that was talked about quite like Animal Crossing was,
Yeah.
So,
Do you guys know how many games it was up against?
it is up. I think there's 6 games total.
Oh.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the ones that come to mind are Doom Eternal, Hades, Last of Us 2, and then I forget the other ones that are up there.
Okay.
But Yeah, you know, they tend to be those big, crazy games, and then
Right.
Celeste,
Oh.
which was great on its own.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and hop into Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read their answers out loud here. And this week's question was, what did you think of Turkey Day in New Horizons? So, I guess, Kuriie, do you want to read an answer here for us?
Sure. So Waffle said that it was super cute and that they're always happy to see Franklin. It's challenging, but not too challenging. And they are loving the casserole dish, but wish that they got other food items as well as furniture items. So
Yeah.
I think we all
Waffles
agree
on
on
the
that.
same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have gotten a lot of those dishes for sure. Awesome. Well, I guess, Sergio, you want to take this next one?
Yes, we have an answer from Dragonflame, and he said it was pretty enjoyable. The only part I didn't like was how tough it was to get a Dungeness crab. In fact, I would say they really sent us to the dungeon for that one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Dragon loves his puns.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the one, just people had the most trouble with that one for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. That was hard.
Yeah. Nina, do you want to take on this next answer?
All right, so M says, I liked it. It was a bit short for me, but I really loved being totally unprepared for it. I knew nothing about the tasks or the rewards, and that made the whole thing really enjoyable. The fact that Franklin made a comment about the culinary choices that some cultures make on Thanksgiving made my day. I love how self-aware the animals are sometimes. Totally on the same page. That it's so charming, and poor little Franklin, he's trying his best.
He's just a scared little turkey trying to live his life.
Yes.
And everybody wants to eat him. I don't blame him. So our next answer is from SJ. And they said, this was my first time meeting Franklin, and he was adorable. I enjoyed the festive fun of the event mixed with the tasks. It felt like an accomplishment to get all of Franklin's gifts, even though it took some effort. Shout out to my villagers who gave me the white pumpkins I needed, and yay for cooking. More to come? Yeah, they looked adorable wearing their little chef's hats in their kitchens. It was delightful to see.
I
You know,
also love that they were using the sink instead of the crafting table for cooking.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's a sign that
That you can
bigger
cook later.
cooking items are coming because we need these dishes. They look delicious and
Plus,
we want
if you
our
had a
villagers to
tab.
have them.
A
What
little
was
tab
that?
for cooking would be really cute. For instead of like
Yes.
the fishing and stuff, you can have recipes, like food recipes, and you could just craft
Yes.
all of those.
Yeah,
Little-
agreed.
Recipe book instead of a Critterpedia.
Adorable.
Yeah,
You know,
it'd be really cute.
I thought CJ was saying this was my first time eating Franklin. I'm kind of jealous.
Meeting Franklin.
Yeah, first time eating Franklin.
Oh.
That poor little guy. Awesome. I'll go ahead and read these last couple. So Trevi Boo said, I thought it was very cute and had the opportunity for uniqueness per island. Enjoyed the idea of some villagers staying indoors and preparing a dish in need of an ingredient, but thought the award should have been more exciting than, for example, a single orange pumpkin. After completing it, though, I felt it could have been way more interactive, and I found myself missing the whole joke about Franklin being invited as dinner and trying to find him and steal the utensils for him. Yeah, that is the original game definitely focused more on that part, and Franklin did send you off to make sure everybody's forks and knives were confiscated.
Was that in population growing?
Yeah, that was the original population growing event.
Wow.
Yeah, it was dark. They were dark times for that guy.
He's been through a lot.
He sure
The
has.
animals were a lot more sassy back then too. So
Yeah, I would if you told me they ate Franklin, I'd believe it.
especially the snooty ones.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah. So the last answer we've got is from Squee of Tortuga, and they said, I really enjoyed the event. Wish it had been longer. The quest mechanics were fun and just interesting enough that I had to think about it. The hints from the villagers were great. Not super obvious, but not too cryptic. The items are so beautiful, and I almost cried with joy that the ones I received were spring-themed, and every single item was customizable and crafted. Just a really well-done event. I wish it wasn't over already. Chef's kiss.
Nice.
That's a really good point. Like, there aren't too many ways that we can customize these items, but they do seem to have that obviously fall theme and that obviously spring theme, which feels more obvious now that this has been mentioned. Because
Yeah, that's true.
Squee of Tortuga is from the southern hemisphere, so it does make sense now why those were the two customization choices.
Yeah, and that's nice that she didn't have to customize it immediately into the spring, that it came as the spring choice. That's really nice.
Yeah, that saves you some of those customization kits for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Curry. It was really nice to have you on and show everybody your new artwork that's going to be here on the show for the month.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was like a super honor to be able to work on that piece for you and to be here with you guys. So,
Aw.
Yeah, we're really glad to have you. And everybody, like I said, check out the description, check the show notes, go find Curry everywhere. She's always doing content all over the place, honestly. Like, I feel like you're streaming and making videos all the time.
I'm just out of control.
Yeah.
Somebody stop me.
No, I love it. I'm there for it. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChuiPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chuy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube? The comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. What did you think of Turkey Day and New Horizons? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a Wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.